morning, everyone.
Good morning. We're here. We're live. We're really live in the flesh. Woo. Yes, we had some, contrary to everybody's belief, we had a couple of people speculating on where we were.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if they thought somebody hauled me off to jail, or if we lost sponsorship, or what. But anyway, all these rumors.
I was getting phone calls.
It wasn't a rumor that I was hauled off to jail, but anyway, I thought, where do they think we are? We had a tornado.
Yeah.
No, we had some tornado damage. We had it's called a straight wind, whatever. Fred can tell you what it was, but it hit the campus and trees were down everywhere, and we looked and we didn't have any television.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we are back thanks to our wonderful engineer, Steve Smith, and Robbie, our technical director, just worked tirelessly night and day to work on it and get it back on. So
it happened. It happened Thursday, so we haven't
Thursday about 4 o'clock.
I haven't had a live show since the Thursday morning
Friday,
show.
Monday, and Tuesday. So I know y'all missed us, so we're in rare form today, or at least I am, with a lot. So don't turn your TV off.
That's
I've
right.
got a lot of catching up to do.
Probably go into tomorrow with as much as we got to talk about. But I was actually a couple people have checked in with me in the last couple of days to figure out if I was okay, because I walked into the station today, Sandra, and felt like I needed to reintroduce myself to everybody. It's been over 2 weeks since I've done a show. I've had some family vacation.
Yeah, you were on vacation, and
so we were sitting. I'm trying to remember. I think we had just come back into our condo, and my aunt was sitting there, and she says, "Oh my gosh, we've had some terrible storms back home." And looked at stuff that was posted and realized how Wesleyan took basically a direct hit. And
they did.
For those that hadn't driven over there, I mean, it's still a wreck over there by the softball and baseball field. Fences down, dugouts destroyed. So it must have been Were you here during the worst part?
I had just left, and Brittany and Robbie called me. Brittany called me, and she said, there is a tornado out here. Nobody had told her that. And I thought, no. I said, it's thunderstorms. Just stay in there, because we were all leaving to go to Charm Night Out with the telegram. They were getting the camera equipment, and I had gone on ahead, and she said, well, there's a tornado out here. I said, no, it's thunderstorms and things, so just stay inside till the rain goes away a little bit, and then y'all can come on. When a minute she called back, she said, limbs are flying everywhere. I said, really? She said, yeah, and trees are bending and this and this, whatever. So she said, something's going on. So
well, just to show you how, and I know we're going to head to the weather in just a second, but I actually talked to somebody that lives right across the street from where most of the damage was, and they hardly had a limb down in their yard, which is
amazing.
Blows my mind. But that's how crazy. I guess maybe Fred can talk to that for a second. But how crazy thunderstorms and those winds can be is just destroy something, and then right across the street you're sitting there like, wait a second, what, did anything even come through here? So, but a lot of damage over here. But I'm glad there was no injuries.
And that's what I told everybody. I'm sorry that we're off the TV and right now, and but we were back on with taped program by Saturday night, so we were good with that. We got back on with tape shows so that people could still watch their shows. Just couldn't do any live until they got the antenna fixed and all that. We had 3 different issues. So anyway, so I said nobody was hurt. That was my important thing, was that nobody was hurt, so we could deal with all the rest.
Absolutely.
So, anyway, let's go over to Master Fred and see if we can get some explanation for what straight line winds, or was it, or that's what the weather source said.
No more tornadoes, Fred.
Yeah, we don't need. Remember, we are a TV station. I mean, we do not need this kind of activity.
That's right.
Okay.
This edition of the live morning show weather is brought to you by Fred's Food Club, the home of rock bottom prices. We accept cash, credit, debit, and EBT cards, with 3 locations to serve you in Rocky Mount, Wilson, and Greenville. Locally owned and operated by Adams Wholesale Company for over 75 years.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first look at Rocky Mount and Tri-County, Quad County, Quinn County weather. There you go. All right. Straight line wind. That is generally a downburst from a thunderstorm. It comes down and it spreads out and moves in a straight line. There's no rotation on it. The tornado, of course, has the rotation, and the reason some people get torn to pieces and others don't even have a limb down in the yard, that's pressure difference. The pressures in a tornado are very low, and you have the whirling wind, which pretty much isolates the damage area depending on the size of the tornado. So there you go, and the Weather Service ruled that the damage out here was from straight line winds. Okay, let's take a look at the current conditions now. Certainly none of that around here today. 72 degrees, the dew point at 64, relative humidity 76%, north wind at 5, 30.06 on the barometer. Well, we'll have a warm front move northward through the area, and then a very weak cold front comes through, and that is going to give us just less than a slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm. We'll just say isolated because this doesn't really have any moisture to work with. But the heat is coming back big time. We've got another heat wave this week. Remember, a heat wave is where you have high temperatures, 90 or above, for 3 consecutive days. Well, let's look at the temperatures across the state as we speak. Currently, we have temperatures in the eastern part of the state in the mid to upper 70s. Out west, they're in the roughly the mid 60s. The high temperature right now over at Pine Island, 79 degrees, and the low over at Morganton, they're looking at 55 degrees. The temperature spread this morning is around 24 degrees, and the state average is around 63 degrees. So that's the way it shapes up right now. Typical summertime pattern there. That's with temperatures in the low to mid 70s, and then going across the higher elevations you see the 60s. Currently 72 in our area, and that's the first look at your local weather. Thank you, Aunt. Sunny today with a high of 90. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 67. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms on Thursday, and that's going to be mainly during the afternoon with a high of 93. Thursday night, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms with a low of 69. Friday sunny, Saturday sunny. Highs both days around 94. The low Saturday night under partly cloudy skies, 72. And as we look at Sunday, it will be sunny with a high of 95 and partly cloudy Sunday night with a low of 71. So there you go. You see those 90s. That's a heat wave just as sure as it can be. Currently 72 degrees. That's a look at your local weather.
We're all rusty, Fred. Don't worry.
I'll tell you. 3 days off, and we don't know how to act.
Man, I've had 2 weeks. So
I know, Wayne.
You might have to kind of hit the cobwebs for me a little bit as I try to get back into the swing of things. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
But,
vacation time. Lisa won't be here tomorrow. She's on vacation.
Okay.
So, anyways, vacation time.
That's right. You got to get it in the summer. But I'll tell you one thing about vacation. I know we're going to head to our first headline, but and I guess it's gotten a little bit better as the boys are now teenagers, or Carson's almost a teenager, but when you go on vacation, you come back, you're exhausted.
Oh, I know.
You definitely don't go on vacation to relax.
Right. People say that all the time.
But
You're tired when you get back, you know, from supposedly a relaxing vacation.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I didn't have relaxing time, but I came back Saturday night and Sunday. I was just like, after church, I just wanted to crash.
Oh yeah.
Just like running around doing all these different things, and do you feel? Let me ask you this, Sandra. This is a funny question. Do you feel like, in all seriousness, that your appetite increases when you're at the beach? Like, do you feel more hungry at the beach?
Probably when I'm on vacation, you want to go out to eat and you want to snack. I was talking about that, in the car with Joe when we went to the beach the other weekend. I said, why is it you want to snack when you're riding?
Yeah, that's true.
When you're driving.
I think there's
riding.
I'm around water down at the beach, and I'm hungry.
So that made you hungry?
All the time. All the time. It doesn't help that my aunt brings like enough food and snacks to feed an army.
Right.
And it's just laying around all these cookies and treats and drinks and stuff. But I don't know what it is about being at the beach. For me, it just makes me hungry.
Yeah, you eat all the time. I mean, what else do you have to think about?
That's true.
Think about eating.
Sit around and eat. So.
That's exactly right.
Well, what do we want to open up with today?
There's a lot of stories, but City Council was Monday at 4 o'clock. 2 o'clock was a meeting of the whole. Where there was a vote on the hotel, the may I use that word, multi-million-dollar downtown hotel and parking garage project. Council voted 4-3 to approve the project Monday during a special committee of the whole meeting. Councilman Reuben Blackwell, Andre Knight, Richard Joyner, and Councilman Lois Watkins voted to approve the project. Councilman Tom Rogers, W.B. Bullock, and Councilwoman Chris Miller voted against the project. So let's assess that.
Well, this was first introduced to us back, what, in April or May was that meeting we were sitting at when they brought the people in, and and they told us point blank, you said, now nothing's 100% official, but here's the makings, the drawing, whatever.
Right.
So we were first introduced to this roughly 2 months ago, and we were told, public hearings to come, blah, blah, blah. So, what's happened since?
The public hearing, we'll talk about that too.
Right.
That was yesterday.
Right.
And, the LGC, the Local Government Commission, does have to sign off on this, and I hope they do a better job than they did when they did sign off on the event center.
Right.
But anyway, we'll see what happens. We kind of know how, Councilman Knight, Councilman Blackwell, Councilwoman Watkins was going to vote on this project. They wanted the project as far as the hotel project.
Right.
But the kicker was Richard Joyner. He was kind of what I call the deciding vote. He is new to the game.
Right.
He hasn't been elected to the council yet.
True.
He's only been appointed. And so here he comes and votes to spend a lot of money. So we have 4 status quo now. 4.
Right. Well, you got 2 complete.
Was that a major mistake for Richard Joyner? He's running. He's spending. He's wanting, in his mind, he's wanting to spend a lot of money. So is that a is that a
well, you definitely have 2 completely different mindsets here. You got the mindset of build it and everything will come mentality, almost like the Field of Dreams kind of mentality for those old movie fans. And then you got the mentality of being cautious and saying, whoa, this is going to take a ton of money. Where is it coming from? So, and I get that. So, yeah, and I would agree with your assessment going into this and watching the faces of the council people when this was presented. You could pretty much tell, like you say, who definitely wanted it, who was a little more hesitant. And like you say, the 2 completely different mindsets. To answer your question about Councilman Joyner, this with him being obviously the deciding vote because of he's trying to feel out which way he wants to go.
I think he's decided. So
it looks like he may have shown, okay, it looks like I'm going to go with the way.
I'm going to spend money.
Right.
I'm going to spend money. I'm not going to be conservative.
Right.
Not at all.
That's basically what he is showing with this
Well, I hate to tell Councilman Richard Joyner, but he has 3 competitors in there running against him right now. So.
And I would say personally, this was his way of showing where he is. Absolutely, this was a major thing, and you're exactly right. There's no way to sugarcoat this. This was an opportunity to say, okay, I'm going to be more conservative, or I'm just going to roll with the punches, roll with the flow. So he showed where his cards are for sure in this particular vote. So,
well, I welcome one of the people that are running against him, one of the folks that are running, to call in and give us your thoughts on how he voted.
Right. Well, and let's be honest. If you're one of his opponents in this particular case, Sandra, I think you basically jump all over this, and try to use it to your advantage. If you look at this now, and unless your agenda is one and the same.
Right.
But that being said, as we all know how politics go, you're going to take whatever you think can give you edge. And now he has how many people? 3 running against him?
He has Johnny Cunningham, he has Gwen Wilkins, and he has another young lady that I don't know, haven't been introduced to her yet. Can't think of her name, but if she'd like to call in, she certainly can. But anyway, any of those folks can call, and Gwen calls sometimes, and Johnny calls sometimes. So there's no reason today why you can't weigh in and against your opponent and just tell me how you feel about his vote. Or
if you are a member of Ward 3, as a citizen in Ward 3, and are kind of either on the fence or very one-sided about this, let us know how you, because you're exactly right. This was a pretty cut and dry situation. We knew where Councilman Knight, Councilwoman Watkins were. We knew where Councilman Bullock and Rogers and Councilwoman Miller were. So he definitely was kind of the one that was going to tip the scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've heard a lot of people talk about him being more of a follower. That's kind of.
He was probably led.
Okay.
He was, pretty strongly in this one.
Right.
And so, you're right. He probably was a follower. But, you got to have your own thoughts. And we'll take your calls as soon as we come back. We do have to go to break. We're pushing the break.
Right.
So we'll be right back with more discussion on this. As soon as we come back, please call and weigh in. We'll be right back.
Yep.
Looking for the perfect 4th of July treat? Head on over to Krispy Kreme for a dozen of their Let Freedom Ring donuts. The All-American donut lineup includes the Freedom Ring, decorated to resemble the flag, the 4th of July firework ring, and the white ice glazed donut covered in patriotic sprinkles. Show your American pride this Independence Day with Krispy Kreme's limited time Let Freedom Ring donuts, available now through the 4th.
Make any day special by coming into Ribeye Steakhouse in Nashville. Come on in and enjoy our legendary tender and juicy Omaha Angus ribeyes. And try and share our seafood entrees, your choice of shrimp, flounder, or oysters. And especially don't forget our famous salad bar with all your favorite fixins. If you want to give that someone special something to revel in, Ribeye's gift certificates can be made to order. And as you're looking for somewhere to host a business meeting or special event, you can reserve the Angus Room. Ribeye Steakhouse in Nashville, over 10 years of great food.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. We never stop, because life never stops.
For the independent train dealer in your area, contact Joiner's Heating and Air Conditioning, 252-442-9211. Located at 613 Chester Street in Rocky Mount. Subject to credit approval, see store for details.
It's hard to stop a train.
The Rocky Mount Farmers Market is now open every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come join us for locally grown fruits and vegetables, flowers, homemade breads, cakes, jams, jellies, and crafts. The Rocky Mount Farmers Market, 1006 Peachtree Street.
Starting now to the end of August, join us on Tuesdays as well from 4 to 7.
Are you being bugged by gnats, mosquitoes, and biting flies?
Well, we've got the solution. Bugs Away, all natural skin protection.
It's safe, It's effective against bugs, and it's really good for your skin. Go to twinoaksnc.com for all of our great products, or call us at 252-565-2760.
Allie collided with another student and hit head-on very hard, and she had a goose egg. They advised us to go ahead and bring her in. We saw PA at first. She just took the time to get to know Allie before she started. We were just very, very impressed. Everybody was very nice, very sweet, very happy, smiling, from the nurse, from the CNA, to the PA, to the doctor. We would definitely recommend NASH to other parents, other people in our community.
And we're talking about this morning, the city council meeting from Monday night. The main thing that come out of that was, first of all, why are they not voting in regular council meeting? Why are they voting in the meeting of the whole? Why?
Right.
Come out in the council meeting and do your voting. I mean, that's where you need to do your voting.
Here's our first call this morning. We'll open up the phone lines for your thoughts. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. My main question is how is this project supposed to be paid for?
Thank you. That is a great question. You probably posed the best question of the morning. Probably your and my tax money.
I was about to say, it'll be you, me.
We're paying for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, how much more can we have on our backs here? We've got a $50 million event center, and now they want to do, how many millions of dollars is that thing anyway? $70 million? Are you kidding?
And that's what I was saying was the difference in the two mentalities, and depending on which one you ride with, you got one that, like you say, it's that field of dreams, just we're going to go ahead and build it, and we're not going to worry about the consequences or what may happen, or just, it'll be funded by the taxes.
I mean, look how easy it is to sit in that chair up there behind that council desk and just make a decision that will affect how many people?
Yeah.
We should, number one, have had a vote on this, just like the event center that we never got a vote on. Number two, thank goodness for the local government commission, because they don't have the last say.
Right.
But the last time the local government commission let me down. But anyway, we're hoping this time the treasurer's office, that comes out of the treasurer's office.
Right.
So we're hoping they won't let us down this time.
Here's another thing, caller, that kind of resonates with a lot of people. I've talked to people that say, look, I understand, our taxes go to certain things, and there might be occasion where I wouldn't mind paying just a little more tax for something, but the thing that I think is frustrating a lot of our population here is that we are legitimately not having a say. Like, there's never a situation where people are, like, the public is really able to say, hold up, before a decision is made, is really able to really put their input in, and we're seeing it kind of over and over and over, that trend where the public is being left out of the decision-making process, and I think that's what is
well, the good thing about it is, guess what? You get a vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get a vote.
Yeah, we will definitely see where the hearts of the people are in the next 4 to 5 months. There's no doubt about that.
But thank you. You need to run for city council.
Okay, have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you for the call. 407-1111. So I think you bring up two very, very good points there, Sandra. It will be very telling to see what happens as you say, in these next elections. If the same people are voted back in, then we'll realize that the majority of people are content with where things are. If there are some changes, then we'll realize that people are ready for some change. But that's kind of the two mentalities there, both sides of the fence, that folks are sitting on there. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good.
Oh, hello, stranger. I hadn't talked to you in a long time. I've been gone.
You've been gone.
I love being here, but I have enjoyed the break as well.
So the storm brought you back in.
Well, I was out of town when the storm hit. Came back in Saturday evening. Late Saturday night. So I've been back, and I would have been on at least yesterday for sure, but we just got back today on the air. So.
But I was calling in to Richard Joyner's defense. I think
think it's unfair to crucify him because he made a vote. The thing that y'all got to realize, even with Tom Rogers and the rest of them, they may not have necessarily voted their own personal conscience. They have to be mindful of their constituency.
Well, why wasn't he? I mean, maybe he wasn't either.
Yeah, I think that's why he voted the way he did, because he's very mindful of his constituency.
Well, I am certainly hearing too many people, like the previous caller. This is too much money.
The previous caller, again, what y'all got to go back and look at, and I don't know why it's taking y'all keep revisiting the same thing. The people
we will if we need to.
On the side of Rocky Mount is trying to get a piece of the pie, and for years they sat around the table. Matter of fact, for years they weren't around the table, and they saw the pie being sent over to Nash County. So what they are trying to do now is develop their side of the county that they live in.
That is crap. That is crap.
That will concern it, and you know, so that's why you got maybe Tom Rogers and some of the rest of them going home, because they know that they was wrong all those years.
Well, I will say this.
When is your 3 minutes up? Almost. Hurry up, Wayne. Let him have his 3 minutes.
All right, I'll go ahead and let him say his thing, and then I'll respond to it. So, anything else you wanted to add, and then I'll respond.
But I just want to say, Sonya, don't get upset every time someone votes.
No, I can have my opinion. This is my opinion. I think it was, you know, I think now we know where Richard Joyner stands.
The same cup that Richard Joyner was drinking from, but now just because he voted, you want to crucify him.
He voted to spend a ton of money. No, I do not like that.
Right. All right. Don't get mad anytime somebody votes.
I can if I want to.
We appreciate the call, man.
Listen, I can get mad when somebody votes if I want to.
Yeah, absolutely. You're entitled to have whatever reaction you want to have. I don't want to lose my train of thought, but I want to get all the callers in as well, so I'm going to write this down. Go ahead, caller.
Well, you know, if you can't get somebody to come down there and build it privately, let's bribe them with taxpayers' money, because if it was worth building in the first place, then investors would already be building a hotel.
Amen. Yeah, why aren't they?
I mean, that is an excellent point. I mean, like you say, I mean, let's be honest here. People that are entrepreneurs, that are business owners, they see where opportunity is. They go where opportunity is. They do their research. They look at where they want, and we've had enough stuff going on down there to where if this was a booming opportunity, you're probably right. 2 or 3 would have popped up on their own.
If you're Mr. Hunt, and you know, Landis and Rochelle pulled up to your back door with a dump truck full of cash that belonged to the taxpayers and say, hey, come take a, quote, risk on Rocky Mount.
There you go.
Of course he's going to be excited, because he has nothing to lose.
I thought it was hilarious the way they said, oh, he was so excited about it. Well, I guess he was.
Right.
Why would he not?
I mean,
you know, they're building these new hotels over at the Gateway Complex. And why is those 2 hotels building over there? Building downtown. They could have built anywhere they wanted to, but they chose to build over there. Why? Because that's where they can be successful.
Right.
Because the city's not giving them free money.
Right.
The city gives you free money, they'll go wherever you tell them to go.
That is very, very true. No.
Richard Joyner has shown us his character, and he's just one of them. He's one of those lackeys who's just going to vote with them because that's who he is. And we thought we were getting change with Richard. People trusted Richard to do the right thing, and he's done his thing.
Gotcha. Now let me ask you this about Roosevelt's point, and I guess this is something that I'm not in Richard Joyner's head, so I mean, I can't, this is speculation, but he made a point of saying, isn't every member of the council, when they cast their vote, shouldn't they be trying to do what they feel the majority of their constituents would have them do? I don't know if
I don't believe he did that for 1 minute.
There are 2 kinds of politicians. There's representative politicians, and then there's an elected official. An elected official does what they want to do because they were put there to do that.
That's
they see themselves as doing what they want to do because, hey, I'm here. Representative would have told his constituents, but how much notice have the residents had about any of this information to make a decision to say, Richard, you should or shouldn't support it? So no, there's no freaking way he could have gotten support from his community because none of us knew anything about it.
Right. I mean, unless he did a heck of a lot of work in the last month's time.
But I mean, we haven't even seen the plans. All that economic stuff they presented in the public hearing yesterday, that's the information we should have had in advance before they had the vote so that the constituents could be informed.
Yeah, I never could understand.
Monday before they presented it Tuesday because they're a bunch of hypocrites.
I never did understand why they wouldn't show those plans. I never could understand that.
Oh, I can tell you what I didn't want you to know.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, and that goes back to
Miss
Small Tony's comment. It says these meetings are going to provide an opportunity for the public to hear about the specifics of the proposed project.
These meetings are like DOT meetings. They're crap. The decision's already been made.
Right. And the project is not final and will need approval. So it's basically like she was saying, trying to put off the criticism by saying, well, the LGC still has to weigh in.
Hey, I give them points. They learn with the event center.
Yeah.
The event center, they got so much flack leading up to it, they decided this time to keep all their cards and everything behind closed doors and only reveal it at the last second because, hey, we're just going to protest it anyway and we're going to vote for it anyway, so screw the people. We're just going to do what we want to do behind closed doors. And that's what they did. They voted for this behind closed doors, came out into the public and re-voted for it just to make it official.
Well, I hope the public will rally around the LGC.
Yep.
That's what we've got to do now.
I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, it is beyond time for the city to be more transparent in these transactions. I mean, there's absolutely no doubt about that. We deserve that as a public.
This is way too much money. Yeah. I mean, we're strapped with the event center debt. Now look, $70 million more?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, think about it. The event center was $50 million with debt.
Right.
We lost our minds. This is $70 million, and they kept this in the shadows.
Yes, they did.
$70 million, and there's no such thing as government funded. There's only taxpayer funded.
Right. You're exactly right. We appreciate your insight. All right, thank you, buddy. All right.
We're going to take a break and go ahead and make your comments.
Okay, I was just going to, well, and I kind of got one of them in there, but I think that just to wrap this up, because we are going to take a break early.
But we do have a guest for Small Business Month, but I'll tell you what, we will continue this after that. Don't worry, this is not stopping now.
Definitely want you to continue to call in the 8 o'clock hour, but I can save my thoughts for that, because I know you want to get her in here, get the weather on, and get her set up, but yeah, I mean, this is a very, very hot, emotional topic for a lot of people. Like I say, I reach out to a lot of folks. I have people stop me, and it's interesting, Sarah, because I do wish more people that come to you and come to me would call, and I invite them to do so. I say, look, we need fresh callers. We need fresh perspectives. We need to hear from you.
Give us a call. We won't say who you are.
So many people are afraid somebody's going to pick up on their voice, and
you should want people to know that you're concerned.
Right.
You should really genuinely. But what I said about the DOT, I really should not have said what I did about the DOT, because their meetings, at least, they do have these meetings, to public meetings, but at least they have changed decisions.
Right.
I know of one that was changed out they were going to block off the road that crosses over at the mall.
Right.
You know, they were going to make you make that right turn. And the public really came out and just really didn't want that. And the next thing I know, they're calling and telling me we're not going to close that. We're not going to close it. So at least the DOT does listen.
Right.
But these people, they're not going to listen. You're just there.
And government should listen. Elected officials should listen. So, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, you may have some of our council members that if they were pressed on this issue, they would say, well, I listen to the majority of my people, and this is what I genuinely feel like they want. I mean, I'm not in their head, so I don't follow them around every day, so they may genuinely feel like that is what they're doing. But anyway, we'll continue with this discussion. 8 o'clock, got a guest coming on. You're watching the live morning show presented by Don Bullock Chevrolet.
It takes hours to make your garden grow, but some pesky critter has pilfered all your produce. There has to be a better way. Introducing Owl Alert, a fantastic way to target unwanted creatures today. The Owl Alert works with sight, sound, and light to zero in on nuisance critters the modern pesticide-free way. The realistic design mimics the look of a real owl, plus it has an ultrasonic blast that affects critters at the speed of sound. It also features menacing red glowing eyes to target pests after dark. Once animals get within range, the motion sensor activates during both the daytime and night. No more smelly and messy pesticides or poisons. Get Owl Alert today for just $19.99. But wait, call now and you can double the offer. Plus get a 25-foot pocket hose bullet. Just pay separate fee. That's 2 Owl Alerts and the pocket hose bullet. Call or click now.
Call 1-800-305-1715. That's 1-800-305-1715. Or visit by owlalert.com. So call 1-800-305-1715 now.
Happy 4th of July to everyone in Eastern North Carolina from John Bullock Chevrolet. Celebrate your independence with a new car. John Bullock Chevrolet is 3rd generation family owned and has been doing business the better way for over 100 years. We have over 30 different makes of cars and trucks on our lot. And you can save thousands of dollars right now. Doing business the better way, John Bullock Chevrolet.
I have been personally selecting our diamonds for over 40 years. I've traveled all over in search of the best. At Bailey's, we are uncompromising in our standards. That's why very few diamonds make the cut. Without exception, beauty and value are the hallmark of a Bailey's diamond. Bailey's fine jewelry. Every woman wants a Bailey box.
Summer is in full swing. Linens, linens, linens. Seersuckers, seersuckers. It's all going on. You know what's happening? Come to PJ's. Like I said, I don't follow the trend. I create the trend. I'm PJ the trendsetter. We open every day, Monday through Sunday. You come down here and we go take care of you.
Hello, friends and neighbors. It's John Rich from Big and Rich, right here in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, where I'm proud to say I'm one of the new co-owners of Premier Equipment. If you're looking for a Mahindra, a New Holland, or anything in between, they got everything you need down here. Heck, if I was you, I'd come down and get one of each. Make yourself happy for a change. You tell them John Rich sent you, and it goes like this. If you need yourself some equipment, head on down to Premier. If you need yourself some equipment, head on down to Premier.
Hello everyone, my name is Spencer Bellamy, president here at Premier Equipment Company. We have a full line of products ranging from chainsaws, weed eaters, tractors, construction equipment, combines. We have everything to meet your needs. We started this business on the basis of having the best service department around. We have a great parts department and a great sales department. Come on down here today. We want a chance to earn your business.
This edition of the live morning show weather is brought to you by Fred's Food Club, the home of rock bottom prices. We accept cash, credit, debit, and EBT cards with 3 locations to serve you in Rocky Mount, Wilson, and Greenville. Locally owned and operated by Adams Wholesale Company for over 75 years.
Chance of a isolated shower or thunderstorm, and that will be very, very rare. I mean, most people won't see one, but there is that chance of picking one up. temperature is going to be the big thing this week. Heat wave. I mean, we're going to be 90 degrees or above every day this week. And remember, 3 days in a row with 90s, that's a heat wave. So we've got one coming. Okay, let's take a look at the Storm Prediction Center chart, and we'll see where the activity is going to be for today. All the way from Washington State up in the Pacific Northwest, all the way down to the Florida Peninsula, and we'll throw the Great Lakes in there also. That's general thunderstorms, nothing severe. And then a marginal risk from Texas on up into the Dakotas and Wyoming, and then eastward over into southern Michigan. The main area, though, will be in the yellow, that slight risk. That's from Kansas into Illinois, and that's a slight risk. And then another slight risk is going to be South Dakota and Wyoming, right in that area. Nothing in the East Coast. You see, the East Coast, with the exception of Florida, nothing going on as far as thunderstorms today. But let's look at the forecast now. For today, sunny, a high of 90, partly cloudy tonight, low of 67, slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm with a high of 93. For Thursday night, same thing with a low of 69. Friday, sunny, a high of 94. Friday night, partly cloudy, a low of 70. Saturday, sunny, a high of 94. 72 for the low Saturday night under partly cloudy sky. Same thing on Sunday, back up into the mid-90s. And then Sunday night, partly cloudy in the low 70s. The average high for this date is 87, the average low 64, and looking at the Rocky Mount Almanac, 101 degrees in 1954 was our high, and the low 53 degrees in 1979. Currently 73 degrees. That's your weather right up to the minute.
Welcome back. We have our Small Business of the Month, Small Business Month segment on this morning, and we welcome Melanie Wallace. Good morning, Melanie.
Good morning, Sandra. Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you here. Melanie owns Celebrate Living Local, and it's a bit of a different concept. I was really interested in it because I haven't heard of anybody doing this, and it's kind of neat. So I wanted her to come in and talk about it. Melanie, so how long have you been doing this, first of all?
We are having our first anniversary next month.
Brand new. Yes. I would say brand new business then.
Yes.
That's great. So tell us what Celebrate Living Local is. What do you do?
So Celebrate Living Local is a welcome service. We deliver welcome baskets to 30 new homeowners in Nash and Edgecombe County every month.
Wow, that's neat. And I guess this is your welcome basket.
This is an example, a demo. So locally owned and operated businesses, they give a gift and a coupon to go into every basket, and it's delivered to those 30 homeowners every month.
And that's kind of neat, because if you're one of the businesses that puts some of your paraphernalia in the basket, then you get exposure to a brand new person coming to town that might do business with your business.
Yes, I tell people that while I can't guarantee that everyone I deliver a basket to is new to town, although right now it's much higher than a lot of people realize.
Right.
But I'm a very affordable and targeted marketing expense for small businesses. It's hard to pay for advertising when you're a small business, so I offer an option that's extremely affordable, it's targeted, and it's personal. So they are getting a personal recommendation from myself or my delivery person to visit these businesses and bring their business there. And even if they're from the area, many of them have not been to some of the places in my basket.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It may give you exposure to somewhere that you didn't even know was here or have not ever visited, and this gives you a reason. You have a coupon or whatever, it gives you a reason to go there, and you might like it, and you might do business after that. So it's kind of how it works, right?
Our goal is to bring them through the door of small businesses.
How do you get the names?
I'm networking with local realtors. I've been to several real estate agencies and spoken with their members, their agents. I'm also networking with the Rocky Mount Realtors Association. And but honestly, even if no one gives me a referral, it's public record when you purchase property in the area. So it's a little bit of legwork on my part, but looking to continue to build those relationships, because that makes it even more personal when I come and visit the home. But our primary goal is to build thriving communities, and we believe the best way to do that is by building thriving local economies. Because half of the American people are either employed by or own a small business. So we're not going to put the big box stores out of business. We're not going to put Amazon out of business. But if you can think local first, if there's a purchase you know you need to make, think of a local business first. And then if you're not able to find it locally, branch out.
Absolutely, and that's what we preach on this show. We have preached this so many times on the program. Local, local, local first. So we really appreciate what you do. I think this is a great idea. And you have another basket too.
I do. We have, we've branched out, if you will, into some local gift baskets. So to be honest, for the longest time, everyone thought this is what I did. When they hear basket, they think gift basket. And so they thought that this is what I did. So I decided to just go with what the market was asking me for. And so now we do custom baskets that have locally made products. So these are locally owned businesses. Their products might not be locally made, but they're locally owned businesses. These are items that are actually produced in our area. So you've got Smith's Preserves, and in this example you've got Smith's Preserves. I mean, everyone from around here loves almost anything that comes out of Smith's red wine. So Smith's Preserves, George's barbecue sauce made in Nashville. Butterfield's candies with the peach buds, also made in Nashville. Blue Dragon coffee, Blue Dragon chocolate, Carolina grits. We're expanding into more and more items to have more options available.
How much would a gift basket like this cost?
So this example is a $60 gift basket.
Okay, $60, and you can have. Would you deliver that to someone?
Right now, I deliver. We're not in a retail location, but I'm also working on figuring out how to be able to ship them in an affordable manner that will also keep the look. You know, because once it's delivered, it's no good to have a gift basket if everything's all jumbled up when it gets there. So I'm still in the process of working all of that out. But
you would deliver to someone's home if I called you and said I want to send a gift basket to so and so. So I could just give you a credit card over the phone, pay for it that way, and then you would just take it over.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not a problem.
Okay. That's great. Well, that's good to know because, you know, we're all so busy and everything is so hectic that sometimes, you know, we think about, oh, gosh, somebody's got a birthday today. Golly, what do I do? And you're at work. Just call Melanie and she can take care of it for you.
Absolutely. It's all on my website as well, CelebrateLivingLocal.com. If you visit there, then you can find out more information about our welcome service, as well as about the gifts and how you can buy a locally sourced gift basket.
Do you have a phone number in case somebody has a question or wants to call and order?
Absolutely. It's 252-462-1688.
462-1688. Okay, well, this is a great idea, I think. Thank you for being here, Melanie, on our small business segment this morning. And welcome baskets and gift baskets, both from Melanie Wallace. So Celebrate Living Local. If you need her services, please give her a call. Kind of a neat, different, and affordable thing as well. So thank you, Melanie, for being on this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And we'll be right back with more of the Don Bullock Chevrolet Morning Show right after this.
I'm Daniel Moss, owner of Cornerstone Funeral Home, and I'd like to invite you and your family to give our family an opportunity to serve you in your time of need. And we offer a full line of funeral services, everything from visitations to graveside services to cremations on site with a live crematory, as well as a banquet hall to meet the catering needs of our families that we serve. We offer catering service, we offer refreshments prior to visitations and services of our family, and we want to invite you to come and experience the difference here at Cornerstone Funeral Home.
Summer is in full swing. Linens, linens, linens. Seersuckers, seersuckers. It's all going on. You know what's happening? Come to PJ's. Like I said, I don't follow the trend. I create the trend. I'm PJ the trendsetter. We open every day, Monday through Sunday. You come down here and we go take care of you.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. We never stop because life never stops.
For the independent train dealer in your area, contact Joiner's Heating and Air Conditioning. 252-442-9211. Located at 613 Chester Street in Rocky Mount. Subject to credit approval, see store for details.
It's hard to stop a train.
Are you suffering from chronic pain, have aches, migraines, or just general discomfort? Ask Ward Specialty Pharmacy about their new pharmaceutical-grade, full-spectrum hemp extract, commonly called CBD. CBD has no known side effects and is available without a prescription. CBD can potentially help with migraines, anxiety, depression, insomnia, and other discomforts. Ask the knowledgeable staff at Ward Specialty Pharmacy about CBD and start feeling like yourself again. Ward Specialty Pharmacy, 3646 Sunset Avenue, Suite 110 in Rocky Mount.
The statement in this ad has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I have been personally selecting our diamonds for over 40 years. I've traveled all over in search of the best. At Bailey's, we are uncompromising in our standards. That's why very few diamonds make the cut. Without exception, beauty and value are the hallmark of a Bailey's diamond. Bailey's fine jewelry. Every woman wants a Bailey box.
Happy 4th of July to everyone in Eastern North Carolina from Don Bullock Chevrolet. Celebrate your independence with a new car. Don Bullock Chevrolet is third-generation family-owned and has been doing business the better way for over 100 years. We have over 30 different makes of cars and trucks on our lot, and you can save thousands of dollars right now. Doing business the better way, Don Bullock Chevrolet.
And we are back for what I guess will be, well, we're going to make
We'll
an
be back for a little while. Yeah, we might just go past 8 and just
okay,
go on.
I'll just go ahead and have a longer segment this time. So.
Melanie had an appointment she had to get to, so she had a brief segment this morning.
Now, was there, you said, the phone lines are open, 407-1111. We had a lot of people calling in. We wanted to make sure we went back to the subject. So,
if anybody wants to talk about downtown hotel situation, parking garage, let us know. City council meeting Monday night. Let us know. Monday afternoon.
Lots to catch up on, and like I say, I'm sure we'll continue on with this well into tomorrow as well with all the things we have to catch up on. But somebody called during the break and offered a perspective from the city leaders' side. So I wanted to see what you thought about this and maybe what anybody else thought. This caller was saying that there is a lot of situations in city government where they are monies are put in front of them, and that people that know how to work the system and get in front of this type of money will reap the benefits from it. So they were basically saying that that's what they feel like the council people that are for this are doing. They're just getting in front of money that is going to be spent, going to be allocated, going to give to somebody anyway. So they were praising, the council members that get out in front of it. Now the question is, and what they weren't clear was, is does any of that have to ever be paid back, or
sure it does.
Right. So that's what and when I questioned them, I said, well, that sounds good on the surface, but you know daggone well that somewhere down that pipeline that's got to go back. It's not just nothing is 100%. They're going to recover it some way, and that's where the people from the other side are saying, well, hold on, you're going to end up raising taxes and doing this to offset that initial bump or boost in whatever it is that you may do. So that is the catch-22, or the give and the take there. But he was basically lauding the representatives that kind of know how to play that game, blah, 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 and saying, well, I don't know for sure that this is what's going on here, but maybe assuming that was almost like you're smart if you know how to get out in front of that.
Right.
So I don't know, what's your kind
just
of take
because money is there doesn't mean you take it.
Right, because there's always going to be you're always going to have to give it back somewhere. It's going to come back, and that's where we as the citizens that are concerned with every aspect. It's just like in any business. I guarantee if you ask the lady that was just here, in any business, yes, she's got to take some risk, but they're calculated risk. They're smart risk. They're risks that have proven to be advantageous.
Right.
Just like, and I think it was kind of ironic that article was written about the 2 new hotels coming to the Gateway Center, as you mentioned. Those are they're risk. Anytime you open a business, it's a risk.
Yes.
But you're going to a place that is already well established, already full of tenants, already selling out every weekend, right? So it makes more sense to say, well, we're going to put 2 more hotels there because we're maxing out all the ones that are there. And I'll tell you, the sports industry is really what's helping that.
Right.
We've got 52 weekends, and I think 35 to 40 weekends we are selling out all of our hotels here in Rocky Mount because of sports tournaments.
Right.
So they need more. But the people that stay in the hotels want to be in an area where they feel good about it. So.
Well, the Carlton House, Jesse Gertzel bought the Carlton House. Mm-hmm. He was perfectly willing and going to put a hotel downtown. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And he wanted the assistance of the city to help him, with I guess permits and this and that, and they just wouldn't even talk to him hardly. And come to find out, it was because they were secretly planning this hotel.
Right.
So I want to know why the 3 council members, if they voted against the hotel, why did they not speak up to the public about this? Did they like the secret hotel? Did they like this situation going on, that it was a secret hotel to the public?
Right.
Why didn't they speak up?
Because I would say that if this was announced to us in a council meeting back in May, it had to have been in the works for at least a year.
Oh, a long time.
At least a year, maybe 2. So you've got the potential, as you mentioned, for private investment to come there, and basically being blocked in a sense, right? Because we're going to wait out this process and see, about the funding and raising the taxes of whether or not we can get, and that's what they've entered into with this agreement with Hunt. So I think that the majority of business people, and anybody can call in and challenge this or correct me if they think I'm wrong, the majority of business people would agree that private investment is much more the way to go for long-term staged success. Sustained success is the route that you want to take to do that, and unfortunately that's not what we're seeing with this particular project for those that certainly want to go down that route. So we'll just kind of continue to see, but I am interested. I would love it if there was a constituent in Ward 3. I think one of the things would you agree that this is kind of the biggest thing as far as Richard Joyner? Because how long has he been?
He's had an opportunity. Yeah, this is probably his first biggest vote.
That's what I was just about to say. That's
first biggest vote that a lot hinged on.
That's what I was alluding to. I think this is the first time where he's been put in the limelight, where it was very obvious that he had the deciding vote and could have gone either way.
Right.
So I would love to get some type of comment from him or whatnot, and as far as that goes. But going back to the voting for your constituents, every council person, Sandra, that I have had, and I think I've had conversation with all 7 at some point. Maybe not Councilwoman Watkins, I don't know, but I think I've had personal conversation with every single one of them. And I will say that all of them have vehemently defended and saying any decision that I make is what my constituents would have me do. They all will say that publicly.
But I don't believe that's the case. I've talked to several of Richard Joyner's constituents, and they don't like this money being spent.
Right.
So, anyway, well, we are going to go ahead and take our break. And get back on track. We'll just do that. We'll be right back. We've got a lot more to talk about, so hang in there.
Stay with us.
I went to the heart center from the emergency room, and they said that I would probably need a stent. The next day, they put a stent in. I was so naive. The nurses, they were excellent. All of the people in the hospital, they had smiles on their faces. They would come in, good morning, how are you feeling this morning? It hit me right here when I saw that. It's everybody in the hospital. It's a team effort.
Make any day special by coming into Ribeye Steakhouse in Nashville. Come on in and enjoy our legendary tender and juicy Omaha Angus ribeyes. And try and share our seafood entrees, your choice of shrimp, flounder, or oysters. And especially don't forget our famous salad bar with all your favorite fixins. If you want to give that someone special something to revel in, Ribeye's gift certificates can be made to order. And as you're looking for somewhere to host a business meeting or special event, you can reserve the Angus room. Ribeye Steakhouse in Nashville, over 10 years of great food.
The Rocky Mount Farmers Market is now open every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come join us for locally grown fruits and vegetables, flowers, homemade breads, cakes, jams, jellies, and crafts. The Rocky Mount Farmers Market, 1006 Peachtree Street.
Starting now to the end of August, join us on Tuesdays as well from 4 to 7.
Are you being bugged by gnats, mosquitoes, and biting flies?
Well, we've got the solution. Bugs Away, all natural skin protection.
It's safe, it's effective against bugs, and it's really good for your skin. Go to twinoaksnc.com for all of our great products, or call us at 252-565-2760.
Looking for an affordable option to treat erectile dysfunction? Ward's Specialty Pharmacy now has low-cost tadalafil troche. Compounded tadalafil troches are small lozenges that dissolve between your gum and cheek. Many ED treatments can cost hundreds of dollars. Take advantage of Ward's Specialty Pharmacy's competitive pricing. 10 doses of tadalafil troches are only $80. A prescription from your doctor is required. Call Ward's Specialty Pharmacy today, 252-459-5544.
The statement in this ad has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
It takes hours to make your garden grow, but some pesky critter has pilfered all your produce. There has to be a better way. Introducing Owl Alert, a fantastic way to target unwanted creatures today. The Owl Alert works with sight, sound, and light to zero in on nuisance critters the modern pesticide-free way. The realistic design mimics the look of a real owl, plus it has an ultrasonic blast that affects critters at the speed of sound. It also features menacing red glowing eyes to target pests after dark. Once animals within range, the motion sensor activates during both the daytime and night. No more smelly and messy pesticides or poisons. Get Owl Alert today for just $19.99. But wait, call now and you can double the offer. Plus get a 25-foot pocket hose bullet. Just pay separate fee. That's 2 Owl Alerts and the pocket hose bullet. Call or click now.
Call 1-800-305-1715. That's 1-800-305-1715. Or visit byowlalert.com. So call 1-800-305-1715 now.
Happy 4th of July to everyone in Eastern North Carolina from Don Bullock Chevrolet. Celebrate your independence with a new car. Don Bullock Chevrolet is 3rd generation family owned and has been doing business the better way for over 100 years. We have over 30 different makes of cars and trucks on our lot, and you can save thousands of dollars right now. Doing business the better way, Don Bullock Chevrolet.
I have been personally selecting our diamonds for over 40 years. I've traveled all over in search of the best. At Bailey's, we are uncompromising in our standards. That's why very few diamonds make the cut. Without exception, beauty and value are the hallmark of a Bailey's diamond. Bailey's fine jewelry. Every woman wants a Bailey box.
Summer is in full swing. Linens, linens, linens. Seersuckers, seersuckers. It's all going on. You know what's happening? Come to PJ's. Like I said, I don't follow the trend. I create the trend. I'm PJ the trendsetter. We open every day, Monday through Sunday. You come down here and we go take care of you.
We're back on the live morning show, presented as always by Don Bullock Chevrolet, and we're grateful to be back with you because it's been 4 or 5 days since we have been able to be live due to that tornado. Which there's something about me and Rocky Mount getting hit with crazy storms that maybe I should just stay town. When Floyd came in '99, I had just left to go serve my Mormon mission.
Oh, really?
So I missed all of Floyd. I wasn't even here.
Golly, I did not realize that.
And I was not here during Floyd. I missed the entire thing. Obviously, I was real concerned, and so they let me, check in at home, and I got videos and footage of it and everything like that. But I missed the entire thing. Now I'm out of town and missed this tornado. There was a couple other things that have happened weather-wise that were severe here. I wasn't in town, so maybe I need to just kind of not leave town.
Yeah, really.
Every time I leave town, there's a terrible storm. So
I know.
Good morning,
Good
y'all.
morning.
On the air.
Good morning, Sandra. Good morning, Wayne.
How you doing, buddy?
Well, I'm glad that someone's calling in. I guess you've heard our previous conversations.
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, I'd love for you to weigh in on the vote by Richard Joyner.
Because obviously you talked to a ton of Ward 3 constituents, and so what is your feeling on the vast majority of that populace?
Unlike the other candidates, I've been in Rocky Mount 30 years in Ward 3. And I'm going to tell you, and I tried to tell it 5 years ago. Gentrification was introduced into Rocky Mount 5 years ago. The federal government came here and they had a 2-day seminar. It was introduced 5 years ago. All these things you're talking about, the hotels and the council being aware of it and keeping it secret, it all started 5 years ago. They've been working on this thing for the last 5 years. And this is the thing that I've been saying it. It's black gentrification implemented by the black city council. When it's all said and done, that entire administration is going to be African American. You may as well prepare yourself for it. I was told by one of the hood representatives, said, Johnny, gentrification is coming and there's nothing you can do about it. It's funded by the government. you may as well, just like you mentioned earlier, Wayne, someone emailed you and said, you may as well put yourself in position to profit from it, and that's exactly what Ruben Andre has done. Now, Jonah has jumped on that bandwagon.
Okay.
Profit from the implementation of gentrification in downtown.
Right.
It's simply gentrification.
All right.
Nobody in my ward where I live is going to benefit any development downtown Rocky Mountain.
Right.
As a matter of fact, you're pushing out churches and tearing down churches and things that did serve African Americans in this area.
Right.
They've been torn down. They've been pushed out.
Yeah. Let me ask you this real quick. Obviously, with you having a great deal of concern for this matter with what you're going to be doing the next couple of months, if I may kind of put you on the spot a little bit, and I don't think you mind, but obviously Richard Joy, a lot of the conversation surrounding him in his early going was, what side of the fence was he going to be on, obviously.
Well, first of all, let's clarify that Andre and Ruben were totally against him being in there. They fought tooth and nail against it.
I do.
Am I right, Johnny?
Now, when Andre referred to Richard Joyner as a jigaboo and Uncle Tom,
he did.
He was saying that the white community, investors or whoever they may be, Andre and Ruben was saying that the white man, quote unquote, put Reverend Joyner in that seat to benefit their agenda or to carry their agenda. That's why Ruben and Andre hated Joyner, and that's why he was referred to as a jigaboo.
So would you say that you are surprised by his potential turn of opinion? Did you feel like when he first came in that he would go the other side, and maybe now that he hadn't, that's part of why you're standing? I mean, where are you on this whole thing with how he's shown his cards, I guess?
It's just like when Andre Knight ran for city councilman. He had suffered an injustice, and he wanted to make a change, and he came in with good intentions. Same as Joyner. He came in with good intentions and wanted to do the right thing, but he failed to realize that he was entering into a den of lions. And I talked to Reverend Joyner. I met with the man face to face. I believe that he was intimidated, and because that's one of their tactics. That's what they do. They tried to intimidate me. They tried to scare me, and that's exactly what happened to Joyner. And he folded. This is another thing. Where I live in Ward 3, we don't give a hoot about what they're building downtown because it does not profit us. We're concerned about hundreds and thousands of boarded up, run down, abandoned houses.
Yeah.
Right.
Drugs, crime, high unemployment rates. These are the things that's destroying Ward 3 where I live. And those are things that we're concerned about. And what we're concentrating on is trying to get private investors and private investment into our community and help us rebuild and live.
And that's how you truly do it. Interesting, I get a lot of random texts throughout the show. One just coming in saying, imagine if you put $70 million into helping these improper or impoverished communities.
So let's get this straight. So the last thing that ward cares about, the constituents in that ward cares about, is a $70 million hotel being built.
You know what? We are frustrated that city council can get their hands on that kind of money and continually ignore and underserve the citizens that live in these wards. I mean, when you look at the crime and the gangs, I mean, you even got gang members now begging and pleading this city council, hey, listen, we're here, we won't change, we want to do right, we want to do the right thing. We want to be included into the mainstream of society. What does Ruben Blackwell say? We don't make deals with gangs.
Right.
So it's kind of like the people that live here, they're saying these are the things we need, and that city council is saying we don't care.
Right.
This is what we're going to do. This is what we're doing. And you know what? You're not going to vote on it. It's a done deal. The door is closed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Johnny, thank you for calling in this morning.
Appreciate it. Appreciate the insight as always, my friend.
Glad to see you back.
Yeah,
thank you. Bye-bye.
So obviously, if I'm understanding him correctly, he's one of the things that he's saying is, hey, I've been here for 30 years. I've talked to these people for decades. Here's what I feel, and that's why.
That hotel is not on their mind.
Right. And like you say, this is, and
he says it's intimidation tactics is what happened to Richard Joyner, not constituents.
And that could very well be the case. I think that most people came in or, watched him and thought, they had the idea of saying, hey, he will probably, not necessarily get it. But I think this is a very, very interesting text here, like you say. I mean, and to put this into proper perspective, can you just think for 1 second what $70 million could do in the community if it's there? Like you say, we've had a caller say, hey, you get yourself in front of this kind of money, you take it, right? Well, that is a very good question to ask. $70 million could go a long way in this community and cleaning things up and getting things back in better perspective. And I would dare say that most people, if polled and if surveyed, if reached out to, given the opportunity to have their voice heard and said, we got a chance to get 70 mil. Do we want to build a hotel downtown, or do we want to put this back in our community? Where do you think the most people in this community would say to put that in?
Right. Exactly.
Let's be honest. I mean, I think that vast majority of the constituents, the population, would say, let's put that in the communities. Let's clean up our streets. Let's clean up some of these buildings. Let's build, nicer, and I think it's a no-brainer personally as far as that goes. But anyway, we're right up on another break, so we will take that and continue to take your phone calls at 407-1111. A couple other things we want to get to as well in regards to Westland College here. You're watching the live morning show presented by Don Bullock Chevrolet.
Looking for the perfect 4th of July treat? Head on over to Krispy Kreme for a dozen of their Let Freedom Ring donuts. The All-American donut lineup includes the Freedom Ring, decorated to resemble the flag, the 4th of July firework ring, and the white ice glazed donut covered in patriotic sprinkles. Show your American pride this Independence Day with Krispy Kreme's limited time Let Freedom Ring donuts, available now through the 4th.
Make any day special by coming into Ribeye Steakhouse in Nashville. Come on in and enjoy our legendary tender and juicy Omaha Angus ribeyes. And try and share our seafood entrees, your choice of shrimp, flounder, or oysters. And especially don't forget our famous salad bar with all your favorite fixins. If you want to give that someone special something to revel in, Ribeye's gift certificates can be made to order. And as you're looking for somewhere to host a business meeting or special event, you can reserve the Angus Room. Ribeye Steakhouse in Nashville, over 10 years of great food.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. We never stop, because life never stops.
For the independent trade dealer in your area, contact Joiner's Heating and Air Conditioning, 252-442-9211. Located at 613 Chester Street in Rocky Mount. Subject to credit approval, see store for details.
It's hard to stop a train.
The Rocky Mount Farmers Market is now open every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Come join us for locally grown fruits and vegetables, flowers, homemade breads, cakes, jams, jellies, and crafts. The Rocky Mount Farmers Market, 1006 Peachtree Street.
Starting now to the end of August, join us on Tuesdays as well from 4 to 7.
Are you being bugged by gnats, mosquitoes, and biting flies?
Well, we've got the solution. Bugs Away, all natural skin protection.
It's safe, It's effective against bugs, and it's really good for your skin. Go to twinoaksnc.com for all of our great products, or call us at 252-565-2760.
Allie collided with another student and hit head-on very hard, and she had a goose egg. They advised us to go ahead and bring her in. We saw PA at first. She just took the time to get to know Allie before she started. We were just very, very impressed. Everybody was very nice, very sweet, very happy, smiling, from the nurse, from the CNA, to the PA, to the doctor. We would definitely recommend NASH to other parents, other people in our community.
And welcome back to the live morning show presented by Don Bullock Chevrolet. So, like I say, with it being Wednesday, first time we've been able to be on the air for the last 3 morning show days. So we are certainly glad to be back with you and glad that you are joining us this morning. The storm that hit Westland kind of preceded a lot of other things going on.
2 storms hit Westland,
I was about to say that there's a literal weather-related storm, and then there's also another storm that's kind of brewing. So, I've been out of town for a while, so I'm kind of going to lean to you to kind of preface this and figure out, where you want to discuss. But what's been going on?
Well, we don't. We're not really privy to that, information, because we don't rent from Wesleyan College, contrary to people's belief.
Right.
We rent from the Gateway Technology. We have a lease with the Carolina Gateway Center over on Falls Road. That's who we lease from. Right. So not the college. So we're just on the college campus, and we do have an intern agreement to train interns with the college. That is our role with the college, and I do love promoting the college. I love being out here. Great campus, and just great places to walk and great security, and we've really enjoyed being on the campus. But they have had a little bit of a shake-up. The rapid fire pace, and I'm just going to read what's in the paper. Pace and apparent casualties of those changes have become apparent as 15 staff members, most in administrative positions, have been fired in the past week from Wesleyan College. On June 1, Dr. Dewey Clark, who had served as president for the college for roughly 5 years during a time of unprecedented growth, began serving a 3-year contract renewal with the college. On June 10th, Clark resigned, effective immediately, and Evan Duff, the former provost and vice president of academic affairs for the college, began serving as interim president. On June 18th, the college's board of trustees officially endorsed a new reorganization plan, which was announced on June 19th. The plan included major changes to staffing and direction. Responding to the changing landscape in higher education, North Carolina Wesleyan College plans to unveil a reorganization plan that will become effective July 1. The plan will redirect vital resources toward efforts to equip Wesleyan students with the life skills necessary for their success in a society that is increasingly dependent upon highly educated citizens.
Let me make a couple of comments right there, if I may. So obviously, with the renewal of his contract on June 1st, we're sitting here thinking, okay, he's building upon the great 5 year. And let's be honest, I think pretty much anybody that I've talked to was loving what was going on at Wesleyan. It was saying, wow, it isn't the greatest spot it's ever been. So it was obviously very alarming that 10 days after signing a 3-year extension that this takes place with his resigning effective immediately. So obviously very, very alarming. A whirlwind of stuff must have happened in that 10-day period. So obviously that raised a lot of eyebrows. But I think that with the quote that you just read, Sandra, was kind of hit me. It's like, because they obviously Wesleyan's got to respond to this. And so it appears, correct me if I'm wrong, based on the quote here, that they're saying that maybe a lot of these moves have been made because they're looking You're right. Education is changing. We're not doing things nearly the same as we did 10 or even 5 years ago. So a lot of change in higher education so that this program is necessary to kind of keep up with the way education has evolved today.
Right.
So maybe we can read between the lines and say in that effort to go in a different direction educationally, obviously when you make drastic changes, some people aren't going to like it, right?
Right.
So I don't know if this is a combination of people being upset or some just speaking out and losing their jobs, but according to Wesleyan, they're spinning it as this is an involvement of a higher education opportunity. We're evolving with the times. Is that kind of what you're reading into from that particular quote as far as that announcement?
Well, yeah, education is changing, and they realize they have to change with the times, and so, I mean, that's just, the way it is. Since Wesleyan is a private college, its meetings and minutes generally are not public information.
Right.
So details were hard to come by, the telegram said.
Right.
When asked for a list of the positions eliminated in the move, Duff's only comment was, the college cannot comment on specific personnel matters.
Right.
But this is true everywhere. Everybody uses that for an excuse. They love it. Everybody loves to use personnel matters. But anyway, and they can.
That's the number one answer.
It is. The letter to alumni, which I read, the letter to alumni does reveal details about changes to some key positions. However, Molly Wyatt, current associate provost and sociology professor, will be moving into the position of vice president of academics and dean of students. Suzanne Brackett, current vice president of finance for the college, now will oversee all facilities, security, and contract services for the institution. And Michael Drew, who has served as the director of adult studies in the past, now will serve as interim dean of admissions and adult studies.
Right.
Duff also puts emphasis on the changing nature of the faith community at Wesleyan. Over the past 5 years, Clark has sought to bring Christian values and principles back to the campus structure. However, Duff said his goal is to focus on a more inclusive model. So what we're saying is, they're trying to include the liberals, the conservatives, the whatevers, the whole thing. So
and that's that's obviously a very dicey situation, because you talk about religion is obviously something that is evolving, and anytime you throw that aspect into a college situation, that's going to be a lot of discussion and a lot of disagreements and different things like that. But I think I just got another text here saying the last paragraph is very telling, kind of what you just read there. It's almost as if they don't want to speak on certain matters, but because of the sensitivity to that. So,
right.
But I will say this: regardless of what is going on, and like I say, we're not going to sit up here and speculate and try to start rumors per se, but. It is very, very unfortunate, because I am one of those people that I really like the way the direction of the college had been. I thought Wesleyan was perhaps in the best spot it had ever been here recently in the last couple of years. Now, depending on how they, take this new approach and where it goes, I mean, I know that there's some people that think it will be a good move. Some people are very concerned with the future of the college and what may happen, and what will happen with student enrollment, what will happen with, sponsors and people that are, involved based on, what's going on. You can't control rumors.
Right.
But what we do know is what they have told us. campus, and that's all we can go by at the moment.
That's exactly right.
It is a decision made to evolve with the changing scope of education, and people are going to take that comment, Sandra, and speculate and run whichever direction they want to run. But I will say, as someone that is very well involved with a lot of people, particularly the athletic side of this campus,
right.
I know there's a lot of concern there, and I am a little bit worried as to what will happen moving forward. I hope for the best, but we'll just have to wait and see.
That's right. That's
what exactly goes on there.
And you know, colleges tend to be liberal anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
My daughter went to UNCW, had a very liberal professor, and she told her she had to write a paper on something that my daughter did not agree with, and she didn't. So Brittany wrote the paper, but she didn't write it in the manner that the professor liked it. So the professor had a little talk with her, and Brittany said, and she called me right after this. Brittany said, well, I'll have a little talk with you.
Oh.
She said, I don't like you. I don't like your values and your morals, and I'm out of here.
Wow.
There are other professors on this campus that are not as liberal as you, and I don't have to be here.
Yeah.
And she got out the door.
Wow. Well,
that's how it is.
They
want you to, the liberal professors want, it's their way or the highway.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, if you don't write what they want you to write and conform to their ways, then you will get a bad grade. You don't stand a chance.
Right.
And I've seen it. My daughter went to college. I know firsthand.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, and it's very, very frustrating because they wield that power, and I know that's one of the situations where people are saying, I don't. There's a lot of reasons why people don't want to send their kids to college anymore. I mean, there's different stuff, but you're right. And kudos to her for standing up for her beliefs and values and saying, wait a second now, you can't do this to me just because
you're not going to make me write something that I don't believe.
That we don't see eye to eye. So that is definitely a situation where I think our kids they're definitely seeing a lot of that as they go, and deal with certain things in colleges in today's society. So we will keep a close eye on Wesleyan and what happens there. We will cross our fingers and absolutely pray for the best, as far as that goes, and see. But with 15 staff members being cut or fired, a lot of people are sitting here saying, well, will there be even more? I think a lot of times when you have that much turnover, it creates some instability, and so then other people are looking at it and saying, well, how do I know I'm going to like what comes in?
Right.
So now you're running the risk of, well, you've obviously got to replace these people. What type of people will be brought in to replace them?
Be careful what you ask for, you may get it.
That is very true.
That's what they say.
That is true. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Councilman Knight. I had to use somebody else's phone because Sandra refused to pick up my phone.
I'm talking about Wesleyan, and I'm in the middle of a topic, and that's the reason we did not answer the phone.
No, you don't want to pick up the phone call.
Okay, we're not going to be controversial. If you want to talk like a human being, then talk.
Well, no, I'm just saying, you're supposed to be fair when it comes to the show.
Okay, what do you have to say? What is your point if you're going to be on these airwaves?
Okay, why you have attitude? I call in.
No, let's talk about it. We're going to talk right now. I'm going to hang up.
How do you feel the city of Rocky Mount just invested another $141,000 because Nash County pulled out of Carolina's Gateway? And you say you are renting from Carolina's Gateway, but you continue to smash the city council and the city manager.
What has this got to do with Nash County pulling out of... I have nothing to do with Nash County pulling out of the Gateway. I have nothing to do with that.
But my question is, why are so many people upset about the development in the hotel? It's a private developer.
Okay, so there's no tax money involved. You going to tell me that?
It's not the amount of money that you said, and you mislead.
Okay, how much is it? How much is it? You're in a position to answer questions.
You said that the city invested over $47 million. That's what you said on TV, you and Mr. Holloman. And that is not true.
In the event center.
No. With the hotel, that is not true.
No, I said I'm looking at a total $70 million investment.
$355,000. That's in year 2021.
Okay, can you answer my question?
We have enough capacity.
How much of it is? How much is public dollars?
Hotels.
How much is public dollars?
I just told you. It's not what you all said it.
But how much is it? You're starting me. How much is it? How much is it?
I told you.
Well, tell me again.
I told you the shortfall that we would have is $355,000. The private developer, he's building the deck, and it's going to return back to zero Rocky Mount in year 20. But my thing is development. Why are we fighting development in Rocky Mount?
I'm not fighting development in Rocky Mount as long as it's private development.
But I'm just saying, you got a private individual that's coming to bring in almost $50 million to put in our city. He believes in what we are doing. He believes in the Rocky Mount dream. How many private developers locally has said, I want to infuse $50 million in your city?
But let me ask you this.
And we're sitting here tracking somebody that's credible, that's going to bring 2 flagship hotels, a Marriott and a Hilton, housing and other businesses downtown, and we are trashing somebody who's going to invest in Rocky Mount.
Okay, I want to ask you
I think that's very sad of us.
No, let me ask you 2 questions, Andre.
But my thing is, Sandra, I just want to ask you this on the air.
I want to ask you 2 questions on the air.
To trash Ruben Blackwell, you make up stories about OIC and the event center. You continue to trash me without known facts. You continue to trash Rochelle Small Tony.
I'm not making up anything.
That is slander. You know that you can be sued.
I don't think so.
And if you keep on, we're going to sue you.
Go ahead. Now, I want to ask you a question. If you're going to call, I want you to answer a question.
I'm going to let you speak. Go ahead.
Now, tell me how much money. Tell me how much money.
I just told you.
You said 3, so I can say Councilman Knight said the taxpayers have $300,000 in this.
You didn't attend the workshop yesterday.
Right.
You did not get the facts. You're getting
No, I'm asking you.
text messages from Clint.
I haven't got any message from Clint. He wasn't even there.
Maybe I'll come on your show. I said I probably won't come on your show. Invite me on your show, and we go with facts from toe to toe. How about that?
I'll be glad to have you on the show. I've invited you before.
Okay, you get your stuff ready.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready tomorrow.
Because you wouldn't even answer my telephone. I had to go borrow somebody's phone out in the street.
No.
Because you
Wayne answered your call. I didn't. Wayne answered your call. Okay, now let me ask you. We don't have to. Hey, we don't have to take anybody's call. First of all, but we don't take calls if I'm in the middle of a topic. Okay, so let me ask you this. Why did the other 3 city council members, if it was so great, if this project is so great, why did the other 3 not vote for it?
Because they want to cherry pick the project, and they want some of their homeboys to come in and do the job. And what we're saying, the people in Rocky Mount who they want to put the parking deck on their private property, they had a choice. They could have put in a RFP. They could have bid it on it. Wanted to.
Well, I would love to have
in this community over 50 years. Some of these companies that been here is over 5 years old. They could have come with their private money and said they want to infuse downtown, but they have not done that.
Right. Well, I would love for you to
I'm saying, why are we fighting people who's coming to Rocky Mount with $50 million?
I'm only fighting money, more taxpayer money. That's my fight.
Where people are developing downtown, and it's going to spear and infuse the economy. It's going to bring on jobs, a tax base, and we got all these companies coming. So why we fight? Only thing I want to say.
Yeah.
If we want to be unified, if we want to be one Rocky Mount, I just want to say WHIG-TV. Let's get on board with progress in Rocky Mount.
Well, Andre, I'm inviting you now to come and have a civilized conversation and give us the facts. Give us the facts.
Yeah,
we asked
you won't even pick up my phone call.
You do not know. We're in the middle. Were you going to talk about Wesleyan? Is that what you want to talk about? Was Wesleyan College?
No, I said.
Were you aware that we were talking about Wesleyan?
One day, you won't talk about Keystone. You won't talk about Wesleyan Board. Because you know you're going to get booted out. But
no, I don't get booted out. I don't rent from Wesleyan College.
That's what I'm saying.
I do
if
not.
You're going to do the news, do the news right.
I do not. I just talked about Wesleyan.
But you ain't said you didn't trash their board.
Okay, your 3 minutes is long over. Thank you, Andre.
You're certainly welcome, Sandra.
Bye. Okay, that's Councilman Andre Knight, and I did invite him to come on. I would love for him to come on and give us the facts as he sees them.
Well, we'll see.
Apparently, the other 3 city council members see it differently. Yeah. Well, maybe they'll come on. You know, each one of them should come on here.
Sure,
they should come on here and give the citizens the facts.
Absolutely. Maybe we can work that out, because I would absolutely love the opportunity to sit down with him and have some discussion.
But there is $70 million investment in that hotel.
Right.
$60 to $70 million.
Yeah, and the money's coming from somewhere.
And there is taxpayer money involved in it.
Right.
Now, I will say that. There is going to be taxpayer money involved in it. I don't care what nobody says.
Now, he's saying, and I think from his perspective, he was trying to share with the fact that what he's saying is it's not nearly as much as maybe the public thinks. Is that
okay? Well, why don't he come on here and say that?
Right.
Why don't the other city council come on here and say that?
And I think that was a very fair question for you to turn around and say, well, why were the other 3 so adamantly against that? Absolutely. Right. So I think it's a discussion that we certainly would love to have.
I would love to have him on. I've invited Lois Watkins. I've invited Richard Joyner. I mean,
absolutely.
After today, Richard Joyner may not want to come, but we'll be fair to him if he does. We're going to be fair to anybody that comes.
Absolutely.
I think everybody that's ever left here, whether they were Republican, Democrat, Independent, I don't care what they were, they've always told me you were fair to me.
Right.
And politicians come and they say you're fair.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean I'm going to vote for them, but it means that I gave them a fair shake.
Opportunity, yeah. And you do.
If there is an individual that I will not let come on here, we're an independent television station. Let me explain that to everybody. We're an independent television station, thank God. We are not beholden to anybody. We are able to say anything as long as we don't use nudity and profanity. We can say anything we want as far as the FCC is concerned. And as far as the college campus that he likes to throw in our face, we don't rent from the college. We rent from the Gateway Partnership. That's who we rent from. And I think they will tell you that we have been very good lessees. And we've had a really good relationship with the college.
Right.
We do train interns, but they're not our boss.
Right.
They're not our boss. They do not control what we say on these airwaves. So anyway, I just want to get that out there.
All right. Well, we got to take our final break, and then Fred will come back and give us our final look at weather, and we'll wrap things up as we head into tomorrow's show as well. You're watching the live morning show presented by Don Bullock Chevrolet. Stay with us.
I'm Daniel Moss, owner of Cornerstone Funeral Home, and I'd like to invite you and your family to give our family an opportunity to serve you in your time of need. And we offer a full line of funeral services, everything from visitations to graveside services to cremations on site with a live crematory, as well as a banquet hall to meet the catering needs of our families that we serve. We offer catering service. We offer refreshments prior to visitations and services of our family. And we want to invite you to come and experience the difference here at Cornerstone Funeral Home. Summer is in full swing. Linens, linens, linens. Seersuckers, seersuckers. It's all going on. If you know what's happening, come to PJ's. Like I said, I don't follow the trend. I create the trend. I'm PJ the Trendsetter. We open every day, Monday through Sunday. You come down here and we go take care of you.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. We never stop. Because life never stops.
For the independent Trane dealer in your area, contact Joiner's Heating and Air Conditioning. 252-442-9211. Located at 613 Chester Street in Rocky Mount. Subject to credit approval, see store for details.
It's hard to stop a train.
Are you suffering from chronic pain, have aches, migraines, or just general discomfort? Ask Ward Specialty Pharmacy about their new pharmaceutical-grade, full-spectrum hemp extract, commonly called CBD. CBD has no known side effects and is available without a prescription. CBD can potentially help with migraines, anxiety, depression, insomnia, and other discomforts. Ask the knowledgeable staff at Ward Specialty Pharmacy about CBD and start feeling like yourself again. Ward Specialty Pharmacy, 3646 Sunset Avenue, Suite 110 in Rocky Mount.
The statement in this ad has not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This edition of the live morning show weather is brought to you by Fred's Food Club, the home of rock bottom prices. We accept cash, credit, debit, and EBT cards with 3 locations to serve you in Rocky Mount, Wilson, and Greenville. Locally owned and operated by Adams Wholesale Company for over 75 years.
And welcome back. We'll take a final look at our weather with a heat wave building for the week. And temperatures are going to be in the 90s, low to mid 90s as we go through this week. And you want to make sure those animals are taken care of outside. Sometimes we tend to forget them. And also check on your neighbors that may be having some air conditioning problems, or maybe they don't have air conditioning. This is a good time to check on them, make sure they're okay. Let's take a look at the current conditions right now, see what we have going on outside. 75 degrees, the dew point is 64 degrees, relative humidity 69%, northwest wind at 6, and the barometer 30.11 inches. But as we go through the day today, that heat builds up. A warm front moves north, bringing some more heat with it, and then a cold front, and really that's kind of a misnomer there. It's really, I guess, a dew point front, a dry front that comes through. Although it could touch off a thunderstorm or two scattered, so we'll see how that shapes up. And then the heat will be on for the rest of the week with a very little chance of rain showing up right now. Let's take a look at the satellite picture and see how things are shaping up across the region. First of all, we'll take a look out in the eastern Pacific. This is the first tropical depression of the year out there. Tropical Depression 1E, that is shaping up. Could become Tropical Storm Alvin as things go, but it's going to move west and northwest and not bother anybody the way things are looking right now in the upper atmosphere. And also see some more showers and some fairly heavy thunderstorms down in the southwest Caribbean Sea, just to the northwest of Panama, right in there. Nothing shaping up there at all. And the rest of the tropics are fairly quiet. Now, as we move farther north, we'll see some thunderstorms over the area where the slight risk is indicated, up in the Dakotas, Wyoming, that area. And that will be moving east. And just a few clouds over the southeast. North Carolina showing up mostly sunny right now. Well, let's look at the forecast, and we'll see for today a sunny sky with a high of 90. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 67. Slight chance of an afternoon shower thunderstorm on Thursday, high of 93.
another slight chance Thursday night with a low of 69. Friday and Saturday, sunny, high of 94 both days. Friday night, partly cloudy, a low of 70. Partly cloudy Saturday night, a low of 72. Sunday will be sunny and hot with a high of 95. And partly cloudy Sunday night with a low of 71. Looking across the country at the extremes yesterday, 112 degrees in Death Valley, California was the high, and the low 25 degrees at Gates Park, Montana. 3.39 inches of rain in Brownsville, Texas was the most precipitation in the country yesterday. 75 degrees right now. That's your weather right up to now.
Okay.
We are back.
Halo Hands Family Care Center is located on 1107 Raleigh Boulevard. The clinic can provide you with a primary care home for management of disorders such as diabetes or hypertension. We also provide services for weight loss management. Our clinic can handle any of your emergency care needs through our walk-in services. Give them a call, 210-3093.
All right, and also one of our fine sponsors is Rocky Mount Eye. They are located on the UNC Nash Hospital campus. You can always go visit their state-of-the-art facility for the latest frames, accessories, anything to do with eyewear, and we'll certainly make you aware of when they announce their next frame show, which they always do a great job of inviting the public in to check out all these things. But before that, you just give them a call or go visit them, and I know they're also working on a new facility over there behind one of the new hotels, just off the Gateway Complex and moving. I guess they're getting so big they got to expand and get a little more room there. So we appreciate they've been one of our sponsors for quite a while now, and we appreciate them. So Rocky Mount Eye on the campus of UNC Nash Hospital. Go see them.
Very good. Two fine sponsors. Also, I want to talk about an interesting thing that I had. I went to Mike Allen's office to talk to him, Boone, Hill, Allen, and Ricks. He is developing the area. We had somebody call in when we were talking about the great developments going on around Rocky Mount as far as subdivisions and things. Our local builders are building, and which I was hoping they would hurry up and step up, and they are building. But there is and somebody called in and said, and don't forget, there's a subdivision going up, fixing to start development behind Stonewall. I said, oh, I didn't know that. Well, in talking to Mike Allen, he is the developer.
Oh, wow.
So kudos to him. I'll have to get my flyer, but it's called Stonewall something. Cool. Anyway, I'm so glad that's another subdivision. I've asked Mike and the builder to come on and talk to us about it and get us excited about it.
Absolutely.
And,
that's something he'll work out for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to know because, I do want to talk about the positive developments. We're going to still talk about some of the things that we don't agree with going on in Rocky Mount. We're not going to stop that because that's our job. That is our job. It is to inform you of all facets.
Absolutely.
And so, but the development of this subdivision is going to be starting very soon. It's going to be very nice.
That's great news.
And it's going to have sprinkler systems, which it's on sprinkler systems, which I think you could ask Jean Kitchen. She would totally agree with that. I mean, really. I bet she has one at her house.
I would say so.
At her new house that she's building. But anyway, there is a lot of building going on in Rocky Mount, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's starting now.
That's awesome. Well, that's good to hear.
Yes.
Well, I know we're only about 2 minutes left, but I wanted to give a shout out. Big thing in the sports community over the weekend since we've been off for a few days. Former North Edgecombe basketball standout and now current Los Angeles Clippers power forward Montrezl Harrell. He was in town to do a camp. He did a free camp for all the kids in the community at Rocky Mount High School. Now, Montrez Sandra, he was a star athlete at North Edgecombe High School, then he went on to play collegiate basketball at Louisville University, and then was drafted by the Los Angeles Clippers about 3 or 4 years ago, and has had a real good career. He's just this past season, he averaged 15 points a game for the LA Clippers, and their team made the NBA playoffs. They lost in the first round to Golden State, but he was in town, so I just wanted to kind of send a little shout out to him. He's one of our athletes here from the community that has made it big, but always comes back and gives back to the kids and to the community, and so they had a pretty good turnout for that. I know there were some pictures taken. He spent a lot of time with the kids, so he was back in town. So it's always, and Todd Gurley always does that. Right. He's made it big now in the NFL, so I just wanted to give Montrez a special shout out for taking time out of his schedule to come back and give to the wonderful kids in our community and give them some hope and say, look, he was one. He said, I was one of those kids. I want to read this quote. He says, "I'm built off of hard work. I try to instill that in every kid I talk to. Not every kid is going to go pro in a sport, but that doesn't mean you can't be pro in the field you choose." That's what I was trying to teach these kids. You have to have the mindset to go out, work for something, and take it.
Kudos to him. Kudos to all of these guys. We've had Jameis Brown on. I've been knowing Jameis for years. Herb just thought the world of him. But he came on and talked about his endeavor that he's doing, which is a great thing. On Sundays, once a month, he's doing his Feed 1,000.
Oh, yeah.
And then to Mo Deloach, he was on, and he's doing a great thing. He's come back and helping the kids and so forth and so on. And then some great things going on to mentor our kids here.
It is.
And
that's a big deal to them.
Great thing.
Big deal to them to see somebody, whoa, I just saw you on TV in the NBA playoffs playing against Stephen Curry, and now you're standing right here in front of me. So
if they can affect one at-risk kid that is about to go the wrong way, if they can help them, then that is just worth it.
Absolutely.
Worth all the effort that they're putting in. And I encourage you to volunteer to help Jameis and Mo. I encourage you to help them.
They'll take the help for
do
sure.
this. I mean, it takes folks to help them do this. I mean, gosh, you can't carry out these big things without some help. So
what fine young men, like I say, Mo, Jameis, Montrez, and Todd, that we are so blessed to have had in our community and given so eagerly back. So we're just blessed to have those young men be a part of our community. So I wanted to give them a special shout out. So as far as you know, is it me and you again tomorrow? Or?
I don't know.
Don't know for sure yet?
Lisa's not here tomorrow. So I don't know if I'll take a day off or not.
But I'll be here for sure.
So anyway,
or someone.
The morning show will go on contrary to some's belief.
There you go.
We will be back tomorrow.
We appreciate you being with us here on the live morning show, presented as always by Don Bullock Chevrolet. Make it a great Wednesday.